the recent orders of the Meghalaya High Court on several issues, be it traffic management, drug menace, or illegal coal mining in the state, has raised questions on the capability of the legislative and executive institutions in managing state affairs. The Shillong Times spoke to a few individuals to get their views on the recent development, and this is what they have to say.
Like in every other system across the world, one system stopgaps or safeguards the other system. So, this is something which is not unusual. This is something which is happening everywhere in this country. So, I will not say that it is a political system which is failing, but it is the nature of our democracy which allows and permits scrutiny of the legislature or the executive by the judiciary or vice versa. So the system is beautiful in its own nature because it gives citizens that satisfaction.
To be blunt, it is if it has not collapsed, it's nearly collapsing. And number two, yes, it has come as a relief seeing that the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya had stepped in. Well, it's welcoming that the court is taking cognizance of the problem and also had issued orders time and again to ordering the concerned department to look into the matter seriously and even to come out with a plan, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But having said that, see, for example, like the issue of traffic jam. Well, traffic jam happens only in the city. But my issue, the larger issue, it also has to do with the civic governance, right? Shillong has no civic body. I mean, for the last municipal election was held in 1966.
In the last 25 years, I have been elected representative. I've been in the government, from one government to another government, from one chief minister to another chief minister. I've not seen the judiciary will interfere like this. Somewhere we are wrong somewhere else. Otherwise, why should the judiciary will interfere? So we have to do our self-introspections.
Yeah, the executive and the legislative have completely failed. I mean, judicial activism is the first sign that there's something very wrong with a democracy because, of course, I mean, it's still part of a democratic process, but it's not elected. The judges are not elected, the officers are not elected. So when the only people who are supposed to represent the people, when these MLAs don't perform, then you are going to have a lot of this type of judicial activism, which is going to come out, and it's a very clear sign that there's something very, very wrong. I mean, people are not just complaining just for the heck of it. That's why they're filing PILs, they're going, they're filing all sorts of cases in the High Court and lower courts as well, because people are very, very frustrated with how things are being managed, and they can see that there's huge injustice, inequality. There are just a few people who are getting wealthier and wealthier. So people are angry about that, and they have every right to be angry.
Well, you see, judicial intervention in annulling or rectifying executive orders or executive incompetence is a welcome step for us, the ordinary citizen. And in Meghalaya, it seems, especially in the last 3-4 years under this government, there has been a great reluctance, or should I say inability, to address basic concepts of good governance. What one sees really is that people who enter elections to become MLAs or ministers are using the secretariat and the status as MLAs to indulge in basic buying and selling. They are not, they've forgotten they are people's representatives and people's leaders. They start behaving as, as nongkai, as traders, banias, who use the government platform to carry on the trade and business and to increase their own wealth, to enhance their own business at the expense of public satisfaction or welfare of the public or well-being of the public. There is no public service that is being generated by the Secretariat and the Assembly. And that is why the need has come for judicial intervention.
This was anyway bound to come, considering the fact that a lot of other issues, even issues concerning repairing and constructing PWD roads or environmental issues, and perhaps some other issues which I don't recall. And this was expected, and which in a sense has made people, especially the young people who are expecting to fairness and justice from the legislative and the executive system, to be fair and square. And this loss of faith has been mounting over the time. And I expect that perhaps at least with this action by the court, some kind of wake-up call can come to the legislative and the executive powers in the state.